Alright, so here I got a battle against some dude from Small Gun Wi-Fi Battle Finder. He's using a pretty standard team, so that's always good. And seems to be a little defensively oriented compared to mine. He's running Rotom, Jellicent, Gliscor, Ferrothorn. Rotom, I guess, isn't really the most defensive Pokemon in the world, but it can be, although most of the time it's like Scarfed or something like that. But he is running Ferrothorn and Jellicent, so I'm thinking that Gliscor might not be the defensive set. It might be like Subsword Dance, since his special wall is more than likely going to be Ferrothorn, and then he has Jellicent to take physical hits. But either one of those Poke can be defensive or especially defensively oriented, so I don't know. He might just be running like 3 walls. So the lead here was kind of important. I didn't really think about how important it was at the time, but as you'll see during the battle, it pretty much gave me a fuck ton of momentum early on. So I led with Genesect. That's pretty much, I don't know. I was thinking he might predict my Rotom lead and lead off with Ferrothorn, because it does fairly well against a possible T-Tar lead, because Fire Blast usually isn't a 1-hit KO, and I don't know. Pretty much Genesect was a lead because really the only thing on his team that would like to take a hit is the Jellicent. As a matter of fact, the Jellicent kind of walls the fuck out of it, so I was pretty much expecting to U-turn right off the bat and, you know, see what the fuck he ends up leading with. He ended up leading off with Landorus, which is pretty good for me because Genesect does actually really well against Landorus in this situation, because he's pretty much forced to switch, since I might be Scarfed if he's not Scarfed, and he's Scarfed. He can't really go for Earthquake because I'm gonna live in and fuck him up with Ice Beam. So unless he wants to make that gigantic risk, he's gonna have to switch. So he goes for the U-turn, telling me he's Scarfed, which is really good because I really didn't want him to be a special variant of Landorus. So he's gonna go into T-Tar to take the U-turn, and I'm gonna go into my gigantic threat Landorus, set up a sub as he decides to switch into Ferrothorn, and Ferrothorn just got wrecked. So he decides to miss a Power Whip, which is funny because if you don't want to miss, use HP Grass. But that was very, very unfortunate for him, because it pretty much means he's forced to sack his Ferrothorn, which is gonna be his main Rotom counter, it looks like. And now he's gonna go into this Rotom, which is also Scarfed. I wasn't really expecting him to run 2 Scarfers, but thanks to that miss, I'm able to get off some major damage on that Rotom, and it's pretty much gonna be dead after Stealth Rock Switch in the next turn. So I'm gonna not want to take the Hydro Pump. Obviously, I'm gonna go into Latias, figuring he'd go for Hydro Pump again, but he decides to predict that, goes into his T-Tar. And I'm thinking the only reason he would do that if he wanted to trap my Latias, since Latias does kind of pose a threat to his team as soon as T-Tar's gone. So I was pretty much expecting to get pursued and then survive that hit and go to Landorus and then scare shit out with my gigantic threatening power. But Landorus decides to miss, so I guess it makes up for the Power Whip miss on his part, but not really. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to Rotom. I'm going to burn some shit. Kind of want to get off a burn on Jellicent, because Jellicent could be annoying, since after I kill this T-Tar, which shouldn't really be that hard to do, Jellicent is really the only thing stopping my my Latias from sweeping, since I'm a Calm Mind variant. If he's running like Taunt and stuff, then I'm not gonna be able to Calm Mind, and it's just gonna take forever. So he's gonna decide to stay in with his T-Tar and die, because, you know, Landorus pretty much forced him to sack his Ferrothorn on like turn 2 or 3, so he doesn't really have too much to take a Rotom at this point, especially not now that his Rotom is pretty much fucked up. Any single hit is gonna kill him no matter what. So I go for the rest. He's going for Fire Blast. I don't really know why. He could have missed, but I guess he figured if he get a burn, it would be a lot more beneficial to him in the long run. But now that it's a double down, I'm about to go into this Genesect. Well, not really a double down, but you know what I meant. I'm gonna go into Genesect. I guess he didn't really suspect the Scarf, so his Rotom is which was also Scarf, is gonna be slower, and pretty much he dies for no reason as I kill him off with the U-turn. So now I'm gonna go into Rotom as he goes into his Landorus. I was really close to predicting that. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm up at this point, and I don't really need to risk anything like that, because if he went for like Stone Edge or like Soap or Swords Dance or something, then I would have been fucking in a bad position. So he decides to go into his Jellicent to resist my shit. Now I'm gonna burn it, because if he does run taunt onto Jellicent, then burn is gonna help me stall it out a little faster and just get some overall damage on that thing. So he gets a burn, which is quite unfortunate, because I was gonna go for the Ice Beam. I mean, not the Ice Beam, what the fuck. I was gonna go for the Rest, since he doesn't have shit to hit Rotom with at this point. So even though I already used my Chesto Berry, I would have just... Wait, did I use Chesto Berry? Yeah, I did against his T-Tar. But he's only got this thing left, which pretty much is only going to be able to hit me with the Scald. If he had Shadow Ball, he would have used it the other turn. So he's also got Gliscor left, and he's got the the Landorus, which is going to be forced to lock itself into something since I know it's Scarfed, and then I could just adjust from there. So he got the burn. I know I've wasted like so much time talking about that shit, and now I'm going to waste some more time talking about this crit that I just got. So this crit is going to allow this Jellicent to be at very low health, to where as soon as my T-Tar dies, pretty much any hit from Latias is going to kill it. And I don't know, I'm thinking the crit right here didn't really matter, since at this point all I wanted was T-Tar to die so I could bring in Latias safely without risking a burn, and then get off a Calm Mind as he either taunts or goes for Will-O-Wisp, more than likely. Maybe he's going to go for Recover, but I'm pretty sure he would have gone for Will-O-Wisp or Taunt if he had it. But I don't know, I just need T-Tar dead. I need that shit dead. I want to bring in my Latias. I want to use the Calm Mind, and I want to take some E-turns from that Landorus, because, you know, it's what I do. So he decides to switch. I don't really know why, but it's good for me, actually, since now I can bring in my Genesect. Genesect, it sounds kind of the same. I'm confused, man, but still. I'm gonna be free to go into this guy, fire off some Ice Beams. His Jellicent got fucking wrecked. So even if it lived the Stealth Rock damage, it was not gonna be able to take this Ice Beam at that low amount of health. So now he's gonna bring in the Landorus. I kinda make a weird move here. Probably should have just let Landorus kill off my Genesect, since I don't really need that shit. But I figured Genesect is gonna be a little more useful against his Gliscor, so I knew he'd either go for the Earthquake or go for the U-turn, and I knew I'd be able to live an Earthquake unless he got a crit, and then I'd scare him out and go for the Swords Dance. And now I'm in this position here, so kinda ended up working, since I should be able to take an Earthquake from this Gliscor if it is defensive. If it's not defensive, then I should be able to kill it with that +2. But it turns out he's defensive, since he takes the Bullet Punch rather easily, which means I'm going to be able to live his Earthquake and kill him off the next turn, except not really, because he ends up living and kills off my Scizor. So now I'm going to be free to go into Latias. He could either go for Protect and stall for absolutely no reason, or he could just let me kill him real quick and make this battle a little faster. But now he's gonna go into his Landorus. I figured he'd lock himself in the U-turn or Stone Edge or something, but this Rock Slide does a little more than I expected. I think if he'd have gone for Stone Edge, it would have been really close, assuming he'd hit both Stone Edges, because I probably should have went for Recover there, just in case he did go for the Stone Edge, and then I can make him miss or stall him out of Stone Edge, since max is 8. But then he might have got a crit on me. So yeah, that's the battle. I've been uploading a lot. I don't know why, but probably gonna stop that shit soon. So yeah, comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.